This is Mondo, Tonic Herbalist with Life on Herbs Podcast, episode 5. You could go your whole life trying to force yourself to do something that doesn't work for you, taking herbs and tonics that don't work for you. It all comes down to what works for you. You got to find that. That's how nature works. That's how the herbs work. That's how our bodies work. That's how life works. It'd be easy to just look at someone and just be a carbon copy. Just do every single thing that they do, and then it works for you. If that was the case, we all would have been doing that. But that's not the case. We could learn and take from certain people some ideas. Oh, they take that tonic, maybe that works for me, and then add it to what it is that we do. Our protocol, our regimen, who we are, our essence, our constitution, our needs, our trajectory, our intention, our purpose, our career, our lifestyle, our ethnicity, right? Our gender. But if you try to be a carbon copy, it's not going to work. And a lot of people spend years trying to be like someone else, years trying to force themselves in a certain health modality, or to force themselves to be vegan when they probably should be eating meat. But because of the ideas, the narcissistic ideas, the ignorant ideas, they keep us locked, they keep us stuck, they keep us in captivity, they keep the mind burdened, right? And the body dull. And when you surround that by processed food and PTSD and being around people you shouldn't be around and unhealthy lifestyle habits, then it just makes the problem even worse. But when we start to focus on acceptance, even Bruce Lee had said to take what's useful, discard what's useless, and to keep what is essentially your own. Like he stated that it's the daily decrease that's going to assist us. But a lot of the times we want so much that sometimes we don't stop to think, okay, what do I need? Instead of just focusing on all the wants by feelings and emotions. Just because you have an emotional idea doesn't mean that you should follow up on it. Doesn't mean that you should build a career around it. And some people build careers around an emotional response, an emotional idea, and then 5-10 years down the road go, why did I do that? Why did I move in that direction? Why did I take that herb? Why did I start to build my body up in that way? Why did I focus on that diet, and now all of a sudden I have to spend 5 years reversing the damage because I forced my way into that specific diet? Why did I force my way into trying to be in a gender that I was never meant to be? Or why did I force my way into a mentality based on ignorance because of PTSD, and I felt like I was entitled? But if we actually start to focus on what works for us, it's huge. In mixed martial arts, they say styles make fights. When two fighters fight, one could have a certain skill set and have lost to a lot of the fighters that he's gonna fight, but ends up beating the fighter that he's gonna fight, although he lost to a lot of the fighters that fighter that he just beat had beat. But see, it depends on the day, it depends on the time, depends on how they match up, depends on the essence, depends on the treasures, as we say in Chinese tonic herbalism, right? Jing, Qi, Shen, and Will. And it's all interconnected. Sometimes you got to work on your spirit more than your body. Sometimes you got to work on your body more than your spirit. Sometimes you got to work on your mentality, your subconscious, and filtering out and forgiving yourself and forgiving people more than you have to focus on like nutrients. Some say, oh, I got to get my vitamin C and my vitamin D and but if you're stressing so much that you're not even absorbing the vitamins and the minerals, or they're pouring out faster than they can actually assimilate, then it doesn't matter, cancels out. So it's all about practical results, tangible results, and not just stuck on the idea of it, because then you're going through the motions thinking that you're doing something that you're not really doing. You're just stuck on the idea of it. But if you actually focus on getting the results because you're actually being honest, and a lot of people don't want to be honest because you spend years trying to deny the things that hurt you, trying to deny the things that you don't want to face. Delusion is like a drug these days, right? Lying is like a drug these days, and it's hard to heal in the holistic sense when you're lying to yourself. It's hard to heal when you're delusional in the holistic world. Maybe that works in other areas, in other fields, in other industries, but when it comes to health, how can you lie to yourself and get a good night's sleep? How can you be dishonest and get a good night's sleep? You may wake up, look in the mirror, go, why am I looking this way? Because dishonesty starts to age you, right? Lying starts to age you. Not doing what works for you starts to age you. Not being in your purpose starts to age you. Not making decisions that benefit you and getting the replenishment that you need starts to aging. And what is aging? It's probably perhaps a denial of self in a certain aspect, in a sense of it. It's a denial of what works for you, or spending so much time moving in the opposite direction that you're not moving in the direction that you could move. Some say, well, what do you mean purpose? I thought it was about free will. Perhaps it's both. Because like there's things that you can't deny that is automatic, that we have no control over. Then there are things that we have some control over based on the decisions that we make. In health, it's both, right? There's the organic organism that is moved by the power of nature, that is bouncing off of nature, right? The herbs work synonymously with nature. So if we don't adhere to the principles of nature, how can we adhere to our own body, right? How can we even respect our own body if we don't even respect the earth? How can we digest our nutrients if we can't even digest life itself? The more we do, the better it becomes, the better you build yourself up. Like the human condition, there's something in man that wants to sabotage himself. But then there is relevancy when it comes to the art of war, because you need to be able to put yourself in the front line to battle. You need to break down the muscle to build the muscle. You need to stress to a certain degree in order to learn and to triumph. So Chinese herbs is based on adaptability. It's based on being more in tune with the earth, your body, and the interaction with it. It's just the mind-body connection. There's a self-realization to a certain degree. That's the Shin aspect, right? There's the consciousness. It's the vast awareness. And if we can't handle that, if we don't want to face that, it's hard to heal. To some degree, we should be able to face ourselves, to build on the herbs that we need, to try the herbs, to not be afraid, and to say, hey, okay, if I take this, I'm going to learn more about my body. I mean, it's easy to take the Chick-fil-A. It's easy to eat the crumble cookie and then wonder what it's going to do to us, right? The Coca-Cola, the black liquids, the new processed food in town. It's easy to build a certain mentality of self-sabotage and just take a dive and consume that and sort of subconsciously wonder what it's going to do to your body and kind of laugh and giggle because you're enamored with self-sabotage. But if we can actually focus on the mentality of replenishment, because it comes from more of a place of faith and love instead of self-sabotage, instead of just that carnal nature, instead of just that animalistic approach, or use that animalistic approach and use that carnal nature to pump yourself up and build a confidence and take the herbs like a lot of the animals take. A lot of the animals eat the herbs, and a lot of the animals eat off the land, and so they start to become more like the land. They start to get the strength to adapt to the land. When you eat a certain food and an herb, and you take a certain tonic and a superfood from that region, from that D-Dow, then you start to be able to adapt in a similar way that herb has learned to adapt. If you take rhodiola rosea that comes out of Russia, and it's learned to adapt in its surroundings and take on the adversity within that land, you too start to learn how to adapt within your own body physiology. You too start to learn how to adapt to the world around you and to deal with the stress a little bit better. It's not like you can get to some sort of enlightened state in terms of a master, but you could get better than you were. You could progress even better than you were. There are assisters, there's tools, which the herbs are within life based on being human, based on being alive. Right? There's tools that are provided for us, into which we call tonics, that carry the ability to build, the constitution to build, as constituency components that build one or more treasures, either the chi, the breath, that animation that we need to continue to move the other treasures, to move the other glands in the system and the energies throughout the body, the circulatory system. And there's the jing, right? You got to get the kidneys going, fire it up. That's why a lot of people like MCT and essential fatty acids to get the glands, the oils, to start to oil things up, move the glands, get the hormones going, get the growth factors going. The vitamin D gets the growth factors going. The sunlight gets the growth factors going, right? You're breathing in, you're taking in the light, you're moving, you're getting the lymphatic system moving. It's a dance of life, right? The Shin, the awareness of it, the will, the willingness to actually commit to the principles of life. This is Mondo with Life on Earth podcast.